I work all the time. Honestly, the worst feeling in the world, and I really wouldn't wish it upon anyone. Didn't do enough of in my A levels. If you put your expectations all the way up here, it's never going to meet them. I have mastered this. Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel. So I literally couldn't face starting the video with the fresh faced Anna that you're about to see next, so I thought I would jump on and show you the finished look. This is just a really festive New Year's makeup look, and I'm answering all of your questions on med school life and just a general chatty catch up. So I really do hope you enjoy getting ready with me, so grab yourself a drink and let's get on with the video. To a very barefaced Anna. I have got myself a little lemonade in my Christmassy cup. I've got all of your questions here. What I'm going to do is start with the more med school questions and then get on to the more uni, lifestyle, juicy questions. If you do enjoy today's video, then please remember to give it a big thumbs up. I know it's something a little bit different, but I just really fancied like a festive get ready with me. And if you are new, then hi, welcome. My name is Anna. I'm a second year medical student at the University of Birmingham, and we just have something for everyone here on this channel, and it would mean the world if you click that little button and subscribe. So always my first step is Ren skincare. I'm obsessed with Ren. It's literally the only skincare brand that I use, and this is for sensitive skin because my skin is like the most sensitive thing in the entire world. And the first question is, do you have any regrets since starting uni or anything at all? Now, I'm really not someone to have regrets, and I really try to see everything, even if it's a failure, as a learning point and something to move on and learn from. However, I do think at the beginning of this year, I tried so hard to go to everything, and because I had such a weird start to uni last year, when I went back into second year, I really wanted to go to every event, love every event. I put so much pressure on myself to be enjoying everything, making loads of friends, and it actually got me really upset. And I sometimes think if you put your expectations like all the way up here, it's never going to meet them. And as soon as I stopped trying as hard and just going to things that I knew I'd enjoy, or like pushing myself out of my comfort zone to go to a few things, but not going to things that I genuinely knew that I wasn't going to like, but was going because I was scared to say no or felt like I had to go, that was my biggest regret, because I just think the whole year would have been even more fun if I'd have just not put that pressure on myself. So next, I always do eyebrows, and I don't know what order everyone does their makeup in. Everyone is different, but I use this to like flick all my eyebrows up, and then I just fill them in a little bit. Now I'm gonna go and do this off camera because I'm really shy with my eyebrows and it takes a lot of focus for me, so I'll see you in a mo. That is the eyebrows that are done. They do look a little bit crazy right now, but wait till the whole thing is put together. What I do is I go in with this and just put a little bit of concealer underneath here. I've had this brush for years, but just like a really thin little concealer brush. I'm now going to go in with my Morphe pencil and fill everything in. I'll put the links to everything in the description below, and if you want to know any shades or anything, just comment below and I'll get back to you. Sorry if this keeps turning off as well. It's just my little makeup mirror, so it keeps sensing my face moving back into. I bet it's really annoying, but if you do like these kind of videos, I will try and sort this out for you so we can do more get ready with me's. Anyway, the next question is, how often do you say no to plans? There are so many nights out at the moment that I want to go on, but I find myself sleeping in and missing online live lectures that I can't catch up on. Per week rule, would love your advice. I feel like I have mastered this. My perfect balance is 3 nights out a week, and everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to be able to cope with more or less, especially because I need to edit YouTube videos. I find for me that is 3 times, and I like to do that on a Thursday, Friday, a Saturday, sometimes maybe a Wednesday instead of a Thursday, and I just kind of break it up like that. For me, I like to save the weekends to go out, and it is more expensive, so it's probably not the most economical way around, but I do find it much easier to stick to my routine and go to lectures if I do only save going out to the weekend. That being said, I do often go out on a Wednesday or Thursday night. Then I always set an alarm. I try to make sure that I get 7 hours sleep. So say I've got a 9 AM, that means that I need to be in bed by 2 AM, so I will leave the night slightly earlier. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase, it's like nothing good happens after 12 o'clock, and I do actually think there's a lot of truth in that. Don't get me wrong, I'm often home at like 3, 4 o'clock, and don't listen to that rule. However, try and get 7 hours of sleep so the next day can be semi-productive and you're not getting getting behind and you're probably going to have to recap a lot of the work from the lecture, but at least you've watched it, you know what you need to do. And then in terms of saying no, for some reason, I've always been quite good at this. I think because I'm a very organised and planned person, I can kind of see in my week whether or not something's going to work, and I plan things really far in advance, like 3 weeks, which is not your average student. I just like to be really organised, and then I can see, can I actually say yes to this, or is it going to put too much pressure on myself? I kind of plan when I'm going to edit my YouTube videos, when I'm going to have a little bit of me time, when I'm going to go out. If I've already got like 2 events that week, then I'll probably say no. And I just think you're much better saying no from the get-go than letting people down last minute. And often if you say to people, look, I just can't, I'm really sorry, I would love to go with you, but I've got this on, or I've got this on this week and I just can't fit it in. Let's plan another time, maybe the next week, to go out with them. Or if it's an event you really don't want to miss, then make sure you balance everything else. And yeah, I think planning is the key. So now brows are done, next we are on to eyes. And I forgot to say, this is more of like my going out makeup. This definitely isn't my everyday. These are all of my favourite products. And the next question is, what is your best way to revise for A-levels? What I've definitely learned through medical school that I didn't do enough of in my A-levels is that practice questions are so important. I know your teachers tell you to do the practice questions, and I remember getting so annoyed at my physics teacher because he used to want us to do these mock exams, and I was sat there thinking, I haven't even revised the content yet. There's absolutely no point me doing this exam when I don't know it. However, he didn't give us an option. We had to do these exams, and he used to set them every single week, and every single time I used to be like, I don't know it, like what is the point in doing this? And somehow I managed to get my A star in physics. And looking back, I think I have a lot to thank him for, because I think what I always preach about is active recall, and practice papers are absolutely essential for active recall. So yeah, practice questions, and then also just make sure you're organised and don't fall into the trick in just revising your favourite subject and thinking that you're fine because you keep doing your favourite subject. This goes for life, and I always say start with your hardest task. So start with your hardest subject and maybe do that at your favourite time of day, or first thing in the evening, or whenever you've done your revision and you know you're the most productive. Always do your least favourite subject then, and then move on to your favourite ones. So the next question is, do you have to remember a lot of first year content for your second year exams or the rest of medical school? Now, I'm in my pre-clinical years, and at Birmingham we have 2 years of pre-clinical and then 3 clinical years before you qualify. I actually had to ask one of my friends in the old years about this because I actually had no idea. Now for second year, not much of the content at all. You need to remember like basic concepts. So we had a whole module on basic cell biology, and a lot of that is really useful, but I would never say I needed to revise it again. But you kind of just need to know the concepts, which by passing the exams you do know if you've got it into your long-term memory or if it's in there somewhere. And she said kind of a similar idea for clinical. A lot of the stuff you learn in pre-clinical is quite detailed, and she said you're never going to need to know these tiny details again, which is quite annoying that you have to spend so long learning them. However, she said it's like the general concepts that you need to know. So she was learning drugs, and it was really helpful to know the basic principles of the neurovascular junction, which by clinical years you've done in GCSEs, you've done in A-levels, and you've done again in pre-clinical years. So it is kind of ingrained in you, but it is kind of building on your knowledge. I think that is why medicine is so long. It's basically like another language, and you just get more and more used to it, more and more used to these terms, that some things are just like second nature and you don't really have to think about them anymore. I'm just gonna go in with my collection palette and do a little wing in eyeshadow. Now this is so old, but a lot of my makeup is, I'm a bit of a hoarder. I know that makeup is supposed to go off, but I don't actually believe in that. I actually just keep all my makeup. So this is literally like probably like 8 years old, but if it's not broken, why fix it? So I'm just gonna do 2 little wings here. Again, this takes so much concentration, but it is a lot easier than using a pen, and that is why I use eyeshadow, because it's a lot more forgiving if you make a mistake. Just go in with my trusty little Garnier micellar water and clean everything up. And the next question is, how do you balance Christmas and revision? Now, I've always found this really hard because Christmas is my absolute absolute favourite time of year, and there's always so many family bits going on. You want to see so many friends, and the last thing you want to be doing is revising. However, how I find this easiest is I just plan the days that I'm going to take off in advance. Like I said, planning and organisation is the key to my life. So I always take off about 4 days around Christmas. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day and the day after. Then I take off New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and then that's kind of like a week, and there's probably another day off somewhere in between. And then I know that I have those days to look forward to, and I can spend the rest of the time revising. I also think it's really important not to give yourself too hard a time at Christmas, because I know these exams are really important, but equally you need to enjoy your life. Christmas is there as a little break. It's really important to prevent burnout and make sure you do take some time to just enjoy the Christmas season, enjoy seeing your friends and family, and don't give yourself a really hard time. If you do have a few extra days off, just use them as motivation to make sure you spend some other days working really hard, but just still enjoy that time with your friends and family. Now, I'm really weird with strip lashes. What I do is actually take the eyelash and cut the inner corner off. I always used to get eyelash extensions, and then I learned this trick, and I've literally never gone back to extensions. Plus, you literally can't get them with medical school, so I thought I needed to learn to love lashes now, and I always get like demi wispies or something little like that, and then cut like 3 little bits off and use half a lash to pop it in the corner. This is definitely still my least favourite part of my makeup routine, but this trick does make everything so much easier because you don't need to worry about an inner corner, just the outer corner. I then just go in with that same shade that I did the brown wing in, and then just fill it in a little bit to make sure that the lash blends really well with the eyeshadow. So this is one eye. Now we need to do the other eye, so the whole process all over again. The next question is it harder than first year? And I do think in quite a lot of ways it is definitely harder. I think the amount of work is harder. I also think the content is harder. However, in a lot of ways I am finding it easier. I think because you've been through it once, you know kind of what to expect. You've understood the fact that there's going to be so much content. I feel like you have a lot more of a grip on exactly how you're going to do the lectures, how you're going to take your notes, how you're going to revise. So in that way I find it a lot easier because I'm not as surprised and everything's not as new. The thing I find the hardest is there is even more content this year, and it is even harder, but overall I'm enjoying it so much more, and also having things so much more normal last term was so good, and I was so lucky to be able to enjoy that whilst we could. And that links in really well with the next question, which is what's the biggest difference between uni this year compared to last year? And it was definitely just the COVID restrictions and things at uni being so normal last term, being able to go out, having loads of medsoc events, being able to meet people. My uni actually decided to do small group teachings, and then we also had a few lectures in person, which was really nice, whereas the year before everything was online, and I much prefer having a little bit of mix of both. It feels like you get the best of both worlds, and I really enjoyed the teaching this year. The next question is how much clinical experience do you get? And like I said, I am currently a second year, so I am pre-clinical, so you literally get hardly any at all is basically what that means. Because you are pre-clinical, what we have at Birmingham, it varies with every uni, but at Birmingham what they do is they have GP placement, which unfortunately because of COVID has been online apart from one time this term, and then next year we are thrown into hospital placements, and I feel like I'm gonna have no clue what is going on. However, the one thing I would say is the clinical experience that we do get I always really enjoy, and that is definitely what I'm most excited for next year, is getting the chance to have way more clinical experience, because to be honest, pre-clinical is so sciencey, and you do sometimes think, oh my god, am I basically just doing a science degree? But all the year above me remind me that next year is going to be so much more fun. Everyone sounds like they love it, and I'm so excited and so ready for clinical years now. The last more med school one that I'm going to do is, have you had to adapt the way you learn from first year to second year? And I would say no, not at all. Like, the teaching styles between first and second year have been really similar for me. It's basically exactly the same layout, which I think is really useful. I can't take myself seriously like this. I mean, what do I even look like? But this is just what I do to like contour with my concealer, everyone. Yeah, so I really just feel like I've just taken basically everything that I learned from first year into my second year and just kind of adapted, made sure sure that I've built on the things that did work. So I absolutely love Anki and I can't rave about it enough, and there's going to be a full video coming very soon, which I'm so excited about. I feel like I've been saying this for ages, but I want to make sure the videos are perfect for you because I know what a nightmare I had with Anki and it took me so long to get grasps of. I don't do notes, I just do flashcards, and that I'm definitely going to continue into all of my years, and I think that works well for anything really, and just saves me so much time not writing notes. So I can't see that going anywhere, but little things I might have to adapt. So I really like the next question because I feel like it's so important, and that is, how do you avoid burnout? Now, the end of last year I definitely got burnt out, and I feel like definitely as medical students or any hard degree, it is so easy to do and not even notice until you stop, which was my biggest problem. Is I literally didn't stop last year. I just kept going, and then by summer I was like, oh my god, I am so burnt out. But I've made a really big effort this year because I really don't want to get burnt out, because I realised this degree is 5 years and then medicine is for the rest of my life. So the last thing I want is to resent the degree because I work all the time or I got myself burnt out. And what I've done this year to make sure that I don't get burnt out is that I always like to take Sunday as more of a self-care chill day. Has really helped me just to know I have that day to chill and have as a wind down day. And then also making sure that I prioritize sleep. Last year I really wasn't. I was like, oh my god, if I could lose a few hours sleep and get on top of work or do something else, do YouTube, go to the gym. But no, sleep is a priority because I feel like you think so much clearer on a good night's sleep. And then finally, you can tell if you're starting to feel burnt out. I remember that feeling of like losing motivation, everything feeling like hard work, and when that's coming, you're not going to be your most productive like that. And the best thing for you is to take that time, take a step back, go and do a few things that you enjoy, go out with your friends. That is as important as working in the long run, and just starting to recognize that I think is so important and has helped me so much. Now the next question is completely un-med school related, and that is, I've just broken up with my boyfriend. Have you ever been through a breakup and how did you get through it? First of all, I'm so sorry you're going through that. I know how hard heartbreak can be. It's honestly the worst feeling in the world and I really wouldn't wish it upon anyone. I was actually in nearly a 5-year relationship and it ended just under 2 years ago. So that was such a hard breakup. So we'd known each other since we were really young and he was kind of just part of my life, and when we broke up I genuinely felt like my life was literally falling apart. Not to be dramatic or anything, but it is such a horrible feeling, and first of all I just want you to know you're going to get through it. It's not going to last forever, and my biggest tips for a breakup are focus on yourself. Now I know you're not going to see it like this, but this is literally the biggest opportunity to grow as a person, realise what you like for you. Maybe your music taste is literally different now you've broken up, or you have a completely different outlook on life, your fashion sense changed, because I just had this extra time that I decided to spend and invest on myself and growing as a person for the better. I'd also say try and pick up a new hobby. You have this extra little bit of time now to fill, and it's completely up to you how you're going to fill it, whether you're going to be sad and fill it dwelling on the past, or if you're going to seize the opportunity and go out, smash life, focus on yourself, and that is definitely the best way to handle a breakup. But yeah, as cliche as it is, the rest is just time and healing, and you'll get that in the end, I promise, and I'm sending all my love out to you. What are your favourite go-to clothes shops or fashion inspo? Love your style so much. This is from Lillian, so thank you so much, Lillian. I'm honestly obsessed with fashion at the moment. I have no idea where this side of me came from because I never really used to care as much. I've always liked clothes, but I feel like I've really found my fashion sense. And my 3 favourite go-to shops are Unjaded London, Princess Polly and Zara. You literally can't go wrong with Zara. Now this is one of my favourite steps, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury Glow Bronzer, and I think this is so important to use some sort of glowy bronzer just to finish off the whole look. Then the last question that I'm gonna answer is, what are your goals for 2022? Anything that you're manifesting for next year? And I have such a good feeling about next year. I'll be going into my 3rd year, I'll be turning 22. Some of my biggest goals are actually YouTube related. I really do want to just focus more on YouTube, and sometimes I feel really bad for spending too much time on it because I feel like it should be the side of my degree and I shouldn't spend too much time doing it. But if I prioritise my time well, I literally have nothing to feel bad for about doing it. I absolutely love it. I also want to focus a little bit more on exactly what content I want to put out. So let me know what kind of videos you enjoy best. best, because obviously you guys are the most important. And then another kind of crazy one, which is a little bit out there, is I'd love to make some sort of product. Like, I have a few ideas up my sleeve, which I'm not gonna say now because I want to make sure they're like a definite before I come out with them. But you guys might know, but I did used to have a vegan treat company, and it was my favorite thing in the whole world, but it just didn't work having a baking company on the side of uni, because obviously I would not pass the food hygiene standards at university. So I'd love to have a try again at making some sort of product, because I have so many things I'm so passionate about, and I would love to have something that all you guys could buy. So let me know if that is something that you are interested in. I have a few. And then finally is literally just being happy, enjoying what I can do. It's such a little thing, but just making the most out of the time that I have, really enjoying and throwing myself into everything. And yeah, 2022, I'm just so excited, so ready for a new year. Let me know all of your guys' New Year's resolutions or what you're looking forward to. I would love to know. Anyway, that is my makeup look nearly done. I'm just gonna pop some lipstick on, curl the ends of my hair, get changed, and then I shall see you in a mo. So this is it all finished. I just need to put my lip gloss on, which is the Fussy Fenty Beauty. This is my favourite lip gloss in the entire world. Here is the finished look. It's literally one of my last chances to wear something Christmassy, so I thought I would get out this little shimmery one from Zara. I really hope you all have an amazing end of 2021. I can't wait for 2022, everything it has in store, and thank you so much for all of your support this year. It means the absolute world. I know today's video was a little bit different, but if you did enjoy it, please remember to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you all next year, everyone. Bye!